The obligation is going to be met. Yes, it's true. Okay, you did your job. But we all know what bosses are looking for.
Some answers, and we get the rematch.
We won't. I'm sorry. And the rematch, he'll be able to prove it.
Stephen A. Smith demands Tank Davis sign the Lamont Rematch contract, stressing that true champions go beyond obligations. He argues that boxing is about impact revenue and ratings, not just fulfilling contracts. Smith insists Davis must prove himself as a boss in the sport by stepping up and making the fight happen.
Met. Yes, it's true. Okay, you did your job. But we all know what bosses are looking for. They're looking for the exceptions to the rules, not the rules. You want somebody that's about having an impact, that's about making sure that it's felt.
Smith emphasized that Davis seeks this rematch to reaffirm his standing in the boxing world, aiming to dispel any doubts arising from their previous encounter, despite having multiple career avenues before retirement. Davis's commitment to a rematch underscores his determination to solidify his legacy. In light of the previous bout's outcome, Davis has expressed his willingness to face Roach again this decision. Highlights Davis's resolve to address any uncertainties from their initial fight and demonstrates his readiness to re-enter the ring with Roach.
It came right back. I'm believing him. I didn't see him hurt or anything like that. I get that part. I saw him hurt when he got popped with a counter from Lamont Roach and he stumbled backwards because he got hit with a shot while throwing a punch in an earlier round. So I'm certainly not going to do that. Here's the important point to mention. All of us got to stand down and give Lamont Roach an apology. I thought that brother was going to get beat down because I saw a dude that was a bantamweight champion. I said, why are you moving up to fight this guy? Why is Gervonta Davis taking this fight? This guy's too small. What the hell is going on? He was a featherweight champion. You a lightweight. What the hell is going on? Why would you take that fight? I didn't understand it. What I didn't know is that once Lamont Roach stepped into the ring, he would be the bigger fighter. What I didn't know is that once he was in the ring and he looked like the bigger fighter, he fought like the bigger fighter because, ladies and gentlemen, from opening bell, he walked right to Gervonta Davis. Walked right to him and stayed in his face all night long. If he backed up at all, ladies and gentlemen, it was 5% of the time.
During their first encounter, Lamont Roach showcased remarkable resilience and skill. He stood toe-to-toe with Davis, absorbing and countering punches effectively. Roach's defensive prowess and ability to retaliate left a significant impression on boxing enthusiasts, marking him as a formidable opponent.
Didn't know is that once Lamont Roach stepped into the ring, he would be the bigger fighter. What I didn't know is that once he was in the ring and he looked like the bigger fighter, he fought like the bigger fighter because, ladies and gentlemen, from opening bell, he walked right to Gervonta Davis. Walked right to him and stayed in his face all night long. If he backed up at all, ladies and gentlemen, it was 5% of the time. The other 95% of the time, he walked right to Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis caught him with some good shots. He took it and then gave it back. Body punches, counter punches, left hook, straight right. This brother Lamont Roach can fight. And he's beautiful defensively as well. And seemed completely unfazed and undeterred by Tank Davis, a knockout artist.
Lamont Roach wisely included a rematch clause in his initial fight contract, guaranteeing an immediate rematch if he lost or the fight ended in a draw. This strategic move showcased his confidence and determination to secure another chance if needed by planning. Ahead, Roach ensured he wouldn't be denied an opportunity to prove himself again, demonstrating both his business acumen and belief.
The bass so loud that it shakes the place.
I just so happen to be a boxing fan that the fact that I do watch him fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really like boxing.
Are you open to immediate rematch?
In my contract, immediate rematch was signed. I signed for the immediate rematch when I signed for the first fight.
Right.
Just in case he lost or just in case it was a draw.
So when you got a rematch clause, how long we taking?
It's up to the A side and when they want to fight. So I'm thinking it's going to be soon. I'm hoping it's going to be soon. Let's say that.
What is soon to you? When you say soon to me, I'm thinking a month.
I'm thinking July.
I'm thinking July for sure.
Esteemed boxing analyst Teddy Atlas has voiced the necessity for a rematch between Davis and Roach. He believes that unresolved aspects from their previous bout warrant another fight. Although he expresses skepticism about its fruition, due to the lack of accountability regarding the referee's decisions.
We know the
Breakdown by
answers.
you.
I
Yeah.
think we know the answers. I think
Yeah,
we know
we
the
do.
answers.
But we need the
Unfortunately,
rematch, and we'll get it. But I touched on last night during the live stream. It's the great Angelo Dundee with Ali when he couldn't see and he was blinded. He didn't say go out there and call a timeout, take a knee. Go and run, move until you can see. And just to be able to go out there and call a timeout, you know, it's like being in the schoolyard. Oh, do over. Unbelievable. This has to be addressed. This can't just continue. This referee must be sat down and reprimanded. And hopefully we get some answers and we get the rematch.
we won't. I'm sorry. I'm terrible. I am, but I'm ashamed of myself. I am so cynical. But this sport has made me cynical. I'm sorry. I don't see anyone's gonna reprimand this referee. I don't. What are they gonna do? I mean, it happens too often. It's happened too often. I don't know. We need a national commission. That's the only thing I could think of, but we're not getting one right now. But the last thing I want to say to put a bow on this one, Bud, we talked about the controversial part, but I want to finish with the great part. That was high-level boxing. That was two guys at the highest level showing their...
Teddy. Atlas criticized modern boxing, arguing that popularity and power influence fight outcomes more than skill. He expressed frustration over what he sees as rigged decisions, where the sport's integrity is compromised for financial and promotional interests. Atlas believes this shift has tainted boxing's authenticity, disappointing longtime fans and purists who value fair competition. His concerns reflect a broader debate on the sport's credibility today.
What are you going to do? I love my sport that I've been in for 50 years. I hate what people do to it. I hate it. I don't hide that. I love the fighters. I admire the fighters. I try to defend the fighters the best I can. But that was appreciated by me. To see, I appreciate Floyd Mayweather. I appreciate Sugar Ray Leonard. I appreciate, all those great fighters.
Many analysts and boxing enthusiasts believe Tank Davis would secure a knockout victory in his first fight against Lamont Roach. Davis, known for his explosive power and aggressive style, was expected to dominate early and finish the fight decisively. However, as the bout unfolded, Roach showcased remarkable resilience, absorbing Davis's punches and countering effectively. This unexpected turn of events challenged pre-fight expectations and left many surprised. The absence of a knockout raised questions about Davis's strategy and whether Roach had exposed vulnerabilities in his game. Ultimately, the fight's outcome fueled further debate about both fighters' true capabilities.
I expected to see a knockout. I expected to see it come at the hands of Gervonta Tank Davis against a dude that I thought was undersized, that I thought was not on the same level. And my God, was I wrong. So I thought it was apropos that on this particular day, more than a week after Lamont Roach showed up at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, and let everybody know, yo, I'm no joke either. Y'all don't know who the hell I am. I'm here to reintroduce him to the world. A guy that many believe should be the lightweight champion of the world in the sport of boxing. The one and only Lamont Roach joins me right now.
Following the fight, Davis expressed uncertainty regarding a rematch with Roach. He indicated interest in pursuing other opponents, suggesting that his next fight could involve different challengers, reflecting the myriad options available to him.
The plan was I was going to call out someone in the ring, and then the journalists are like, well, who? I can't say. Well, who are you going to call out? Well, you saw he was in my locker room. And then everyone starts doing the math. The only fighter that came in the locker room of Gervonta Davis was Jake Paul.
Oh, Jesus.
Jake Paul was in attendance. Jake Paul was in attendance with his business manager, Nikisa Badarian. Do the math there.
Tank has taken losses all over the place. He didn't lose in the ring,
But in terms of his profile, in terms of things he's saying, in terms of how he looks, he's taking losses.
I'm just gonna say, man, like I like Tank Davis. I have a nice working relationship with him, but you cannot deny that his image took a hit, and it what it showed to me, Chris, is like every dog has its day, not in a good way. Like he's 30-0 heading into this fight. He's the man. He's the #1 ticket seller. He's a pay-per-view attraction. He knocks everyone out. He puts freaking butts in seats. That place was full to the brim.
Packed.
With
Like
weed. I was
sardines in
high.
there.
Weed smoke.
Yeah,
I was stoned. Were you stoned Saturday night? I was a little stoned.
Yeah, I had a headache driving home.
And maybe that has something to do with me walking out of there. But the hate that came out immediately after from fighters, Devin Haney, Teofimo, Shakur, to everyone, Berlanga, to fans who have been just waiting for this moment.
Bud chimed in too.
Well, Davis has talked shit about literally everyone too. Like Davis was on his perch, as like this PBC guy who is
Gets
just
paid, who puts butts in seats, who knocks everybody out.
And it was warranted. Like Davis was the man. He's knocking everyone out, and you're selling out. What more can you do in this sport? Like that's the name of the game: make money, knock people out, fame, notoriety, and all that. So the minute he was going to slip up, and no one thought it was going to come in this fight against Lamont Roach. The minute Tank slipped up, you knew that everyone was going to come out with their pitchforks. Everyone was going to come out with their knives.
Boxing analysts strongly support a rematch, believing Lamont Roach deserves a fair chance to secure a definitive outcome. They argue that the first fight left too many questions unanswered, making a second bout necessary for clarity. A rematch would allow both Roach and Tank Davis to prove who the superior fighter truly is, eliminating any doubts and settling the debate once and for all in the ring.